Live from the Talking Joe studios.
It's Talking Joe with Chief and Ben. Hey, 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 it's me, the Chief Dog. I'm joined by my buddy.
It's bright and early, it's Ben. Woo!
Early morning recording.
Yeah, bank holiday Monday, just had Easter, and I'm half asleep.
Oof, yeah, I've been up since, actually a bit of a lie-in today. The kid did not get up till 7, which is normally 6.
Oh, crikey, is she on a 6 a.m. rotation?
Every day, yeah.
Brutal. When did you put her down?
Hates
7?
sleep because she hates the idea of missing out on stuff happening.
Hey, don't we all?
Yes. So yeah, she probably goes to bed about 7, yeah.
Good. That's good, Chief.
But the first thing she said when she woke up this morning was...
Egg.
Daddy, don't forget we made a deal. I can have chocolate after breakfast.
Yeah, you made a deal with the devil.
And I said... You could have chocolate on Easter after breakfast, and she said, it's Monday, that's still Easter.
Yeah, and she is correct.
Technicality. She got me on a technicality.
Yeah. No, it's the Easter season.
Yeah.
Talk to you about yesterday. I smashed 1 egg and some of my children's eggs.
I did not eat any chocolate yesterday.
Oh, man, I had a Reese's Pieces egg, and... very disappointing. The American chocolate is just nowhere near as nice, is it?
Well, and also you say that because there's a bit of activity on the Facebook group where we were talking about Easter, and who is it? I'm just going to try and find the...
Someone threw down a...
No, someone was saying that in America it's normally painted hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, so my brother was saying that they don't really do Easter out there.
Yes.
Like, they don't have... like Friday and Monday off, and
it was actually Scott Romanowski who tweets us on Twitter quite a bit, and he actually had another question. He said, what do you guys have as Easter eggs, like you talked about? Well, yes, we have a lot of chocolate eggs. I'll see if I can take some pictures today. They'll still be on the shelves, heavily discounted. And also he's got another question, also, what are Johnny Rottens, as Ben said Outback was in?
Oh, pants.
Yeah,
well, no,
not pants for Americans. We call them pants, you call them...
Yeah, Y-fronts, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Johnny Rottens.
Your kegs.
Yeah. Just more names that no one understands.
Yeah.
Oh, yesterday we went, we got the chain ferry and went over to Studland and had an all-day Easter drinking sesh.
Wow.
With the kids there. I got smashed.
Yeah?
Absolutely smashed. Got a taxi over there, taxi back, so we were free to booze.
Nice.
It was like something... it was like something from a famous 5 book, Chief. I think it's how the world is meant to be. We were just there was no one else on this beach. There was kind of woods, sea. We had paddle boards out. The kids kind of went all a bit Lord of the Flies.
Right.
They were just left to kind of go wild. They sort of fashioned spears and met some other kids and had a big battle. It was awesome.
Sounds like something out of a novel, like you say.
Yeah, it was very idyllic. Seriously. Also, the other day, we were really bored in the garden. We broke the G.I. Joe toys out and did some setups.
Now, I saw these pictures on the Instagram. People love them.
Yeah, and what I thought was, I was like, wow, when it comes to taking photos, technology really has moved on, and it's pretty awesome. Because really, when we were doing it, you couldn't get close, could you?
Well, I was using, I don't know, I think you were disposable.
Oh, no, we had an Olympus.
Oh, I had the £5 from Boots, Kodak disposable camera. You buy it, you chuck the whole camera back to the chemist, to the pharmacist, and they send it off, get these pictures developed. You wait a week, you get them back, and that's it.
Yeah, and also, I don't think you ever read, but usually with a disposable, it says you can't really be, you got to be like 2 meters back.
Oh, correct.
Which does not work for a kind of setup.
No.
Where you want to get nice and close.
Big news in the Castle Chief establishment. Halo done.
Halo done.
That was
wow.
about, I think
Give
I'm
me
going to look back.
time.
I'm going to look back. It was it 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
That's not too bad.
I want to say 4 weeks since I started. It's 10, what we would call in old school parlance, 10 levels. I don't know if modern games these days, they don't really have levels, do they?
No, they don't. They have missions. They have projects.
Yeah, so it was 10 like effective levels, 10 missions.
Yes.
And I don't know if I ever want to play another Halo game as long as I live.
Yeah, well, okay, you got to wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah, because it was
the Halo dust.
There was like I think mission level 9. There was one bit I must have been stuck on that for about 5 hours, just go after go after go, and I was like, I've got to quit. I've got to quit because the level of health I've got at this particular point where it's saved.
Oh,
I can't now do it. It's like impossible.
Well, what do you mean? Why can't you just start level 9 again?
Can you just start at the beginning of a level 9? I think it.
Oh,
I don't
crikey.
know. Maybe
what,
I would have to go back to.
You
I think I would have to start
when you
level
were in
8.
bad shape.
No, it
Why did
auto
you do
saves. It auto saves.
Oh, checkpoints. Okay,
Checkpoint
okay.
done. Checkpoint done.
Dude, surely there's a restart level.
I don't know if there is. Anyway, I did it, and then yesterday it was the final run where you're in the. I don't know if you've finished Halo.
Yeah.
That final bit, we're in the Warthog, and it's just like you've got to drive 1.6 kilometres.
Yeah.
5 minutes. The countdown's
it's so cinematic.
Against the clock. It's insane. When it came out at the time, I was like, "What is this? This is the greatest thing in video gaming ever."
Did you actually find that last level to be the hardest? Probably not.
Probably not. I did struggle with it though. I spent most of the day on it. Did do it, but yeah, it was the was it? I don't know if overall the game was fun, but the level of satisfaction I got when I got to that final escape ship and I put the pad down, I was beaming like a Cheshire cat.
Oh, okay, that's good because I thought you were going to say, you didn't.
No, it's actually reaffirmed my belief that I'm a great video gamer.
Yeah, gaming's good. Gaming is good. I don't know how I feel about 4 weeks that took you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not going to play that again for a while, are you?
No,
not
daunting task of now Halo 2.
Which is harder.
Other thing, tapping into my schedule this week is I guy at work, GeForce, known to, I'm the only one who calls him GeForce actually, Grant.
GeForce.
He recommended to me a Netflix show called Love, Death and Robots.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
No.
Oh my goodness, get on! I'd never heard of it. I was like, "What is this guy recommending? This junk." So I thought, I'll have a look on Netflix. So the first thing that appealed to me is full season, but it's animated in different styles, and it either involves love, death, or robots as a theme. But none of the stories are none of the episodes are interconnected, and they range between 6 minutes and 17 minutes per episode.
Oh, cool. Okay,
so they're all standalone animated shorts.
And
from that first one I put on, holy moly, this is amazing. I watched like 8 episodes back to back.
Wow,
maybe six.
I've never ever heard of that.
No, I think it's newish. I think might be 2019 or back into 2018. But seriously,
is it made by Netflix? Is it?
I rarely recommend TV shows because most of them are junk. But I am wholeheartedly recommending this. I think you will really like it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Our buddy Dave would like it as well.
Whew. Okay, I'll get on that. I'm just having a sip of my coffee right now.
Yeah, I just had a chai latte, coconut chai latte.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
made that yourself, did you?
No, up at the Cox Pippin, which is the local independent coffee shop.
Oh, dude, that's nice. You got one walking distance away.
Yeah. I've got a Nero walking distance and
screw that
independent one. But yeah, very good.
Hey! I tell you what else I did. I went for a long run on the beach.
Oh, yes. You mentioned you were going for a run, and you mentioned what you were doing on your run. Hit me with it.
Yeah, I was bereft of decent podcasts to listen to. I was like, hang on, I've got a talking force to listen to. 2 hours worth.
Yeah, boy.
Wow, man. I don't think I've ever... I went to school for 15 years. I didn't learn that much. I learned a lot. It was so good. Yes. And Chris, I think, literally might be the nicest human being on the planet.
Yeah. Chris, what did I get myself into, McLeod, a.k.a. Diagnostic 80? Like you say, Full Force podcast. If you're not listening to it, go and listen to it. He does great stuff, churning out content like it's going out of fashion. And what a great top guy, man.
Hell of a radio voice. He, really should be a disc jock.
Newest stuff, made me look like a chump.
Yeah, Chumpsville.
Yeah. But that was great fun to record. We had a blast. And like you say, we've got it up as 2 parts on our feed. So go and check it out there. And also, I will recommend, I don't want to drag listeners not listen to our stuff, but I recommend if you want to listen to it with a visual aid as well, go over to Chris's YouTube channel. And it's probably linked on his Facebook as well. He's done a YouTube video for the full 2 hours, and he's put loads of cool visuals, images, pictures from the comics.
Basically gives you some context.
Loads of context, and it's really, really worth checking out.
Yeah, if you're coming in cold to Action Force, that's all. You literally just need to listen to this, and you're up to speed.
Yeah, he told me loads of stuff.
Pretty detailed.
He told me loads of stuff I didn't know, so I was into the comics big time, and me and you collected the toys, but we never delved into the backstory of the toys.
No,
as in not the backstory of the characters, but as in the backstory of the manufacturing of the figures. How it came about, etc. And he fills in all those blanks for me.
Yeah, he's got knowledge. He's got knowledge up the wazoo.
Yeah, top guy. And
big time.
Rumour is that we'll be reuniting the Mega Powers. He might want to be Macho Man this time, and I might have to be Hulk Hogan.
European missions.
Yes, this will be Action Force Monthly, which in the United States was rebranded as European missions.
Give me a year on this then, Chief.
I never got it. I don't have these issues, so luckily I'm meeting up late.
What I mean is this after Action Force got canned?
Yes.
Okay.
After Weekly got canned, it then ran as a backup strip in Transformers UK, and then Action Force Monthly came out in the UK. Now, I have no idea why I didn't gravitate over and immediately get, at the time, those Action Force Monthlies. But meeting up with the Seddon boys, Peter and Mark's kindly going to lend me his copies.
Yeah,
and then me and Chris, maybe even you if you're around this time, we could do a triumvirate. You could be Miss Elizabeth, and we can do the Action Force Monthly reread.
Because when I was, when we were talking about doing this podcast, and I was looking at all the kind of versions of stuff, I found these European missions, and I was like, God, these covers are great. And I remember texting you. I was like, what is this? But you were cold on them. You were like, they're generally considered to be gash.
I thought, that was the general thinking was, I thought they weren't supposed to be good, but Chris told me they're some of his best stories, so I'm now pumped to read these.
Well, just Googling them, the covers look so exciting.
Yeah.
But do you know how many there are? How many months it went for?
I've got no idea. I'm
probably just 1 year or 2 years, maybe.
I don't know. We'll find out. Later in the year. Stay tuned for that special.
Okay.
So if he thought he had his work cut out doing compiling vids for that, he's going to have to do it all over again.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. I've been watching more Game of Thrones, and you know what that means?
Uh-oh.
Up north, the icy cold it is stinging. Bran and Three-Eyed Raven ain't singing. In King's Landing, church bells they are ringing. There was a wedding, and now the Joffrey's dead. Here's a Game of Thrones questions from inside Chief's head.
Oh, that was like a Kanye West. You were sort of going up at the end. That was wild. I like that.
Yeah, I actually forgot. I had to do a rap, and I made that up about 5 minutes ago, so apologies on the crudeness of it.
Oh, God, I actually thought you were going to say I just did that off the cuff.
Oh, should have lied.
I was like, crikey, you've been doing some underground street battles.
Yeah, improv. So, couple of questions here. That stupid Three-Eyed Raven, what the hell is it? Basically, I'm in season 4, and I think I did episode 4 last night.
What do they call it? Warging.
Warging when he goes into the mind of another animal. But what's this Three-Eyed Raven? What's this? There's a couple of weirdos, a couple of sibling weirdos who've kind of got Bran. They're taking him north because they think he's the only one who can stop the White Walkers. Is that right?
Yeah, well, and he has to become the Three-Eyed Raven. I don't know what the Three-Eyed Raven is.
Cool.
All I know is that sort of even in season 1, when they're sort of walking around Winterfell, it does keep cutting to some crazy raven.
Yeah. No, I don't mind if stuff's explained, but nothing's been explained.
They leave a lot. That storyline is quite confusing, really, isn't it?
That's one of the problems I've got with the show at the moment. There's way too many storylines going on.
There's too many, yeah.
I can't get invested in them all, and I'm realising I don't care about that. All the King's Landing stuff, love all that.
I know.
Brilliant.
Luckily,
I'm getting bored of Dany's story now because she's literally just going from city to city,
Yeah, it's
sacking
like, get
it,
over
getting
the
the slaves,
sea.
sacking it, getting the slaves, sacking it, getting the slaves. It's boring now. Just get over the sea already.
Yeah.
I like.
Wait, what season are you on, mate?
Season 4, episode 4.
Yeah. See, these are okay. Yeah, carry on.
We've got some brutal deaths coming up. I think, from what I can recall, Stannis is going to burn his kid, which is pretty bad.
Oh, crikey! Yes. And what about the?
Joffrey just died, which
Viper
was
in the mountain.
which was a great scene.
That was a good scene, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
breakfast thing.
Yeah.
The kind of that was cool.
Yeah, but there's bits I like, but there's just too many scenes. And the other thing is, the other question I've got is, what's the crack with Dawn? Because Tywin keeps going on about the 7 kingdoms. Now, 6 of those kingdoms are. Can you name the 7 kingdoms?
I've never tried,
Okay.
possibly. But go on.
I won't
Dawn.
put you on the spot. But Dawn seems to be the only one that is not exiled, but the only one that's not part of the 7 kingdoms as a combined unit is Dawn.
Do you not think?
No, he says it. Tywin Lannister says to Prince Oberyn, Dawn is the only kingdom not aligned with the other 6.
The Viper, I'm a big fan.
What's the crack with Dawn again? They probably explained it, but why is it not part of the others?
Yeah, I don't know that, but I know that it's very controversial when it does turn up in the show towards the end of the season you're in.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's like panto.
What do you mean when it shows? When what shows up?
When they go there.
Oh, is that when they've sent? What's the
It's
kid?
considered to be
What's the
kind
kid
of
they've sent over there? Marcella, is it?
her daughter.
Yeah.
Yes,
She's been sent to Dawn to effectively keep the peace with Dawn.
She like an offering, yeah.
And then from what
to marry in.
From what I can remember, a few of them
alliance.
infiltrate. Maybe Bronn and
Jaime.
Jaime infiltrate. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
it is basically like Aladdin panto.
Right.
It is shocking, and it's very rushed. But all the kind of book nerds love all the Dawn stuff, but they never really did it properly in the show.
Okay.
But the Viper, he's pretty cool, isn't he?
All I've seen of him so far, he's only been in a couple of episodes. All he's done so far is be in the brothel with a load of blokes and a load of women. That's all he's done
I know.
so far.
Okay, but he is a cool character, and he is the main guy in the Star Wars show, The Mandalorian. He is the Mandalorian.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
Right.
bear that in mind.
Gotcha. And wait a minute, he's got a beef with Tywin because the Mountain killed his sister?
Yes,
Right.
yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right, okay. And they obviously, I remember, but I can't remember the outcome or anything. Him and the Mountain have a bit of a showdown later on.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So before we do G.I. Joe chat, we've got to bring the tone down a little bit because we've got to go.
Inside Chief's Bone.
Who's been grinding your gears
Oh
this
my
week?
goodness, disrespectful neighbours. Got to be quiet in case they're listening. There's nothing worse, is there?
This is
Nothing worse.
flat-based
Nothing worse
neighbours.
when you put out your washing on a sunny day and next door put a barbecue on without telling you first.
I guess they don't
And then-
have to tell you,
and
but
then
what's they're
suddenly-
adjacent to you? What's
Yeah,
the deal?
suddenly all your washing is really smoky.
Yeah,
All you have to do is
infused with meat.
poke your head over and say, look, we're having a barbecue.
Dude, they can't control the wind. I mean, I
Well,
suppose.
it's close
Do you know
enough.
what? I've never had that issue
Right.
because we still don't have a washing line. Christ.
So all your washing dries in the house.
Oh, so weird. I've been
That's
bringing
how
it
you get
out.
damp.
We've got like
man. That's how
we've
you
got
get
like a.
condensation, damp, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, no, we've got a utility room that has a fart fan,
Ah, the tumble dryer.
the extractor fan.
Right.
So we just leave it in there to dry. But yeah, I suppose that happens. It must have been directly next to you and just billowing in, was it?
Well, though, it's just there's a fence, but it's like 3 meters away.
What did you do? Chuck water over it?
No, just
No.
nothing.
Just sat there, grinded your teeth.
Yeah. No, we were out at the park and we came
Oh,
back.
okay. You came back and it stunk of
Yeah.
bad meat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you generally get on with your? Do you
Yeah.
see them like
Good people.
regularly, or do you never see them?
Yeah, we see them to say hello every now and again. Yeah, good people.
Yeah, because I forget. Have you got? It's not a flat, is it? It's like
Yeah,
a
we're
split level.
we're a first
house.
floor maisonette. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you do have to be. Do you find that you have to be quite quiet, and that you can hear through the walls?
I imagine you can hear a little bit, but I imagine they're woken up every morning by Evelyn.
Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah. I want to talk about G.I. Joe comics.
Oh, so do I. Let's do it.
Right, so here we are finishing...
Balls deep in a big arc.
We're finishing off the previous story, so I think, what is this? 63, 64, 65 and 66.
Yes.
So where we left off last time, Stalker, Snowjob and Quick Kick were in the Gulag in Borovia. Outback had escaped, and no rescue mission was planned because these guys are off the grid.
Oh yeah, Outback had escaped.
Yeah, because he was getting beef from Leatherneck, wasn't he?
But yeah, I just realised, because I just read these issues and he doesn't feature.
He does feature at the end, doesn't he?
Does he? Maybe very briefly.
Or maybe that's 67, maybe it's the epilogue. Okay, so, and then you've got the bit with Billy and Jinx going to this language centre in San Francisco, Raptors tailing them, and Cobra Commander's been shot, presumed dead.
Yeah, these issues are dense, packed full of juicy G.I. Joe meat.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on here. So the main thread that goes throughout is the...
What would you say that is? Yeah, still...
I would say it's still the Borovia stuff.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So let's do that bit first. So what happens is they set up... let's do covers. Let's do covers. 63, Snake Eyes and Scarlet walking through a minefield.
Yes, nice cover.
Like that cover. It's quite the images are quite static, and normally these don't really tell a story, but it really actually does tell a story.
It's like Twilight. I just thought that was a really nice cover because I feel like we've had not duds, but I thought that was a return to form. Yeah,
Mike Zeck, who's done a lot of these covers with Bob McLeod, looking really good stuff there. And
why
then
are they wandering around in a goddamn minefield?
64, you've got a bit of a power struggle here. You've got close-ups, Cobra Commander, Serpentor and Baroness.
That is such a VHS G.I. Joe cartoon cover.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's Ron Wagner on cover duties there. He's the interior artist as well. And then 65, it's called Shuttle Complex. This is the issue where...
I was into that cover.
This is where a bit of an interlude, whereas this actually takes up the main story bulk of this issue, but this is effectively a space battle.
You're like, they're going into space here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the cover myself. That's Mike Zeck and Bob McLeod again. And then 66, really like this cover. There's barbed wire right in the foreground, Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, and there's a gun being levelled straight at Stalker in the background. Really, really good cover, and that is Ron Wagner.
Yeah, nice. Right, let's talk about this main through.
So let's talk about this main through one. So, what's Snake Eyes and Scarlet doing on the front of this issue? Well, because no rescue mission can be sanctioned by the Joe team, there's people gone off the grid, i.e. the Ninja team. So it starts off in Grenada, the island of Grenada. There's a double date going on with Flint and Lady J, Scarlet and Snake Eyes. They're on a beach. They're having some downtime.
Flint's not into it, is he, going for this mission?
No.
He's like, they're big boys.
Yeah, they can take care of themselves. And they basically, Snake Eyes and Scarlet have set this up along with the Blind Master, who Flint and Lady J don't know. We saw him a few issues recently. He's in with the Arashikage clan. And he pretends to be a tourist. He wanders into a minefield. Mines go up. All these guys are Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Blind Master presumed dead. And Flint and Lady J have to go back and report this to the Joes. What that does mean is that these Joes can now go undercover into Borovia to rescue the team.
Yeah, because the Blind Master.
Why did they feel like they had to fake their own death? Why couldn't they just have gone on the mission anyway?
Well, don't you just think that Flint was not going to be up for that?
But they could have just
done it.
Disappeared when Flint and Lady J are out on a moonlight stroll. They could have just bugged out.
No, absolutely. I think this is a bit more exciting. But
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably done for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
And then you get a load of scene setting in Borovia where they're kind of tied up with this guy called Boris, who's the local snitch. Who has been ratting people out throughout the time he's been in the Gulag. And then it sets up this little bit where Stalker's out doing hard manual labour and there's a guard with a sniper rifle who wants to test him. He's like, please run away. I hold the national gold medal for long distance rifle.
He's like, what does he say? I'll give you 300 metres or something.
Yeah, of course. I would give you a sporting chance. I would hold fire until you had reached the 300 metre mark.
300 metres is miles.
Yeah. And that comes back right at the very end of the whole arc. These two guys meet again.
Yes.
So Harmer's really clever. He's setting up just small snippets. It doesn't even mean that much to the overall story, but really nice kind of character snippet moments.
Yeah. My favourite bit of this was, the rescue mission that they go on
Yep.
is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's great, because who have we got there? There's 6 of them.
Well, then, see what happened. There is 6 of them, and Storm Shadow, Billy, and Jinx have now joined the guys in Borovia. And
Yes.
the reason they've joined them is Billy and Jinx have now gone into this language centre, which turns out to be kind of a secret Joe base almost. Or
Yes.
a military training kind of establishment. And Hawk's there with Chuckles and Law, and they basically want to not interrogate Billy, but want to find out exactly what was happening with his father and all that kind of stuff. And Flint gets on the phone to Storm Shadow and kind of says, and Storm Shadow's there, and Ripcord, no, they tie up a few loose ends because Ripcord wants to know what happened to Candy, and Storm Shadow wants to know what happened to the Softmaster, and that's where Billy explains they were killed in that explosion.
Brown bread.
So it ties up that snippets.
Yes.
Did those guys survive or not? No, dead. Fine. Flint gets on the horn and says, look, Snake Eyes and Scarlet dead. And as he's explaining what happened to those guys, Storm Shadow pieces the clues together and works out that was the Blind Master. They faked their own death. They're not dead. Quick, let's get out to Borovia.
Yes. For an ultimate team up.
And that's where you mentioned there's 6 of them together, and there's a cool bit where they're all doing these ninja kind of finger knitting symbols.
Yes, I know.
Love
I
all
love
that.
that. Yeah, it's so cool. And how do you feel about them joining the circus?
The White Clown.
I love
So
that.
the way that they're going to infiltrate into Borovia is, like you said, they found a local circus with the White Clown, and he will come back later in a really big storyline in the 90s.
Oh, cool.
Really good stuff, and serious stuff. And he's kind of a down on his luck, sad clown, as they all are, because his love of his life, Magda, who was the bareback horse rider, spoke out against the Borovian government and was got put in a gulag in a prison. And every year he goes and tours Borovia in the hopes that he'll meet her again or find her. And that's how these guys get into Borovia and find the gulag. And
Yeah, they just kick ass, man.
it's very violent. There's a lot of carnage going on here. They're
It's
basically
raining.
Oh, it's rain. Imagine this if it was a TV show or a movie.
Yeah, totally. Oh, when Scarlet hits the lights, man.
She hits the lights. There's people dying, and then the camp commander. They've taken Boris away, and she's like, "Make him sing, boys." And basically, that culprit must be you. Take him to the guardhouse and beat him to death. Literally, just sanctioning murder. And then she hears from the other hut all this fighting going on, and she assumes it's her soldiers killing Boris because he's like snitched out the Joes, and it wasn't the Joes, and it isn't actually oh no, it is there, because then you see Boris lying dead on the floor. Then you say Scarlet shoots out the lights, and then all the prisoners basically get hold of the camp commander. She's now dead.
Yeah, it's just really satisfying when Stalker tags that dude.
Yeah, because how are they going to escape? There's basically nowhere across the river. The bridge is blockaded. Luckily, the White Clown in Circus have got the cannon,
the big
human cannonball, and so they fire all the Joes over the river. And then, like you said, there's a really great scene where the sniper who wanted to get Stalker earlier on,
because they've both got each other locked, haven't they?
Yeah,
in their sights.
He spied him up on the cliff top,
but Stalker gets the drop on him.
Yeah. He dares to engage me in a rifle duel, and you see basically close-ups of 2 triggers, and you see
a rifle duel.
Yeah, the guy just falls down, and then that's it. Yeah,
yeah, I like it. He tosses the weapon.
Yeah,
just sort of hops in, gives a salute, boosh, and off he goes.
Really good. I've really enjoyed that story, that whole storyline.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got a very satisfying ending.
Yeah,
because I feel like they really spent some time on that rescue.
Exactly,
yeah, it was awesome.
Exactly. Another bits that happen during this run, you get a look at the new pit in Utah.
Pit 3?
What was Pit 2 then?
Yeah, Pit 2 was the one that they were all rebuilding when they were
of course,
at that funeral. And
yes, like in issue 22 or 23.
Yeah.
You're right. And then this one now is under a desert in Utah,
Yes.
basically underground, and you see some new Joes. You see Psych Out, I don't think we've seen before. You see some guy called Backstop, who I don't know who that is. You see Hardtop and Payload.
Yes.
And these are the two guys. Those two guys are to do with the shuttle, because the other new Joes that from a previous story, it's Falcon and Chuckles and these guys, they're kind of being hushed up. The other Joes, especially Leatherneck. Leatherneck's giving beef to him, as he always does. It seems to be every time he's in there, he's just giving.
When he's in there, he's just sweeping,
just laying the smack down.
Always ready to give someone some,
Yeah.
grief. Who's the dude? I've got this. The figure, the dude with the red helmet and visor. That's it. Fast Draw.
So these new Joes, and they're basically on a need-to-know basis. They don't need to know, but they see a load of big wide tracks that are like 50 meters apart out in the campgrounds, and they're like, what could have made this? There's only a few little huts, little buildings. There's nothing that could have contained this. So they go sneaking around at night, and
they find a party.
One of my favourite bits here is Bazooka is offering someone to go punch for punch.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Anyone want to go punch for punch? What is that? Just punch each other till one of them drops down?
Just look how many Joes there are now. There's so many.
And they're all grubby and dirty.
They've been building, man.
Yeah.
Digging.
They've been digging.
Yeah, I like it that they make the Joes build the pits. Because this was the same deal when they were building the second pit.
Yeah, manual labour. Let's all pitch in.
Yeah. They don't sub it out.
And as it turns out, you find out what those tracks were for in the next episode, issue 65, which is pretty much purely a space-based episode, and I really love this issue.
I was kind of looking at it all as one arc, but this was great.
Yeah.
This was awesome, because should we go into the Cobra stuff?
Yes, please do.
Because as I was reading the first issue, I was like, hang on, I'm going to have to count backwards, because we have not seen or heard anything from Cobra for so long.
Yep.
And then I turned the page and bang, we've finally got Serpentor.
Of course, because this
back.
is Fred VII in the Cobra Commander battle armor. Or, like you said, no one actually knows it's a Cobra Commander battle armor because he was building it on his own.
First we've got Serpentor and Mindbender looking over these satellite images. And I was like, at last, we're actually back at Cobra Island.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and what's happened is Fred VII, Captain Min, I think his name is, has got a little boat, and he's taken Fred over to Cobra Island.
I love that cold open.
Yeah.
When he's broken the perimeter and
the Mambas, the Cobra Mambas are coming in.
They're just who is this guy? And he's like, he wants permission to land.
Yeah.
Serpentor's like, how dare, because he's flying the Cobra flag.
Yeah. But then they say, he's got Cobra insignia on the pogo and on his helmet. And he's like, I'm Cobra Commander.
Serpentor kind of... Why was he even considering giving him command? Like, he seemed...
I think
if you prove yourself to be Cobra Commander, you can take over. What?
I think he either knows it's not Cobra Commander, or he thinks Cobra Commander's, he's got him beat in a battle of wits.
Yeah,
so he's just waiting for him to fail.
Fight! All the Cobra Troopers, they haven't been doing much by the looks of it. According to Zartan, he's like, this is what happens.
Yeah.
If you just got them lying around.
Yeah.
So
and effectively,
you can start to see the divide.
Yeah. The reason that he's accepted as Cobra Commander is because the Baroness effectively vouches for him. She
vouches for him. Yeah.
She's like, I'm the only one who knows what he looks like without his helmet. They go into a back room, whatever. He takes his helmet off. He says, look, the gig's up. Fine, I'm not Cobra Commander. And she goes, put that helmet back on, So she's using him.
She's got a beef because Serpentor has effectively sort of demoted her, hasn't he?
Yes.
So she's not best pleased anyway.
No.
And Mindbender's not that into it anymore by the looks of it. So you can sort of start to see what's happening here.
Yeah, and so now he's posing now as Cobra Commander with the Baroness's say-so. And then you get this bit where... there's some astronauts up in space, American astronauts, and they've detected some satellites, etc., which are these Cobra satellites, which are tied into this secret of the Terradromes, which we still haven't. This has been an underlying, bubbling away kind of small thread of these Terradromes and their secret use. And this is tied to it, and they're worried that the Americans are going to unlock the secret of the Terradromes. So Cobra effectively launched their own spaceship, and it gets up there straight away in 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, Serpentor is basically hoping that this goes tits up for Cobra Commander.
Yeah,
isn't
because he basically, Cobra Commander and Baroness have been strapped into this space rocket, and they're going up personally to oversee this space mission. And like you say, Serpentor and Mindbender on the same page, and they're like, we could get rid of these two in one fell swoop here.
I really like the moment when they're in space and it's going bad for Cobra Commander. There's carnage going on, and it's like he becomes Cobra Commander in that moment when the panels are going into his eyes and everyone's like, what's going on? And then he kind of bosses it and sorts it all out.
One of my favourite scenes so far, like you say, everything's going wrong, and the Baroness gets knocked out. A missile hits their ship. The Baroness gets knocked down. He's standing over her corpse, or her body, and there's scrap iron. And he's like, Cobra Commander, half the power banks are out. What should we do? Televiper. The helm is responding sluggishly. We're losing pressure in the computer compartment. If the trajectory memory goes down, we have casualties in engineering.
Yeah.
And everyone's got like, I need your attention right now. And like you said, close up. And then all of a sudden, he just completely becomes the man.
That's it. That's his moment, isn't it?
He takes control. I want a damage report. Bleed pressure into the computer bay from reserves. Shut down all systems except life support. Maneuver and weapons. Reload all missile launchers. Bring them to bear. Have the main battle computer stand by to target coordinates for the main laser bank. Helm, bring her about. Yeah, he's like suddenly like Captain Kirk.
Yeah. I am loving this storyline, as you said, of when he gets in the battle armour.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So, yeah.
How are you finding the art throughout all this sort of stuff? This is Ron Wagner, who's now the man. So basically we've got Harmon on script.
Absolutely love it.
Ron Wagner on pencils, Andy Mazinski inks. Colours is Bob Shireen, letters is Joe Rosen. I think that's the same crew throughout all these issues. I think Russ Heath might have inked one of them. Actually, he inked two of the issues. Yep. Apart from that, it's all the same. I really like Ron Wagner's art. However, I do think he would benefit from a bit of a thicker inking line. Some of the stuff looks a little bit faintish, and I think there's three different inkers over the course of these issues. Some are better than others, but I think on the whole, his art is, it's not too far away from what we were used to with Ron Wagner.
That's what I was going to say.
From Rod Wiggum.
Yeah.
But still maintains a lot of detail, yeah.
Yeah, it's good detail. I love it. It's brilliant. Now, where are we at? Is there any other arcs going on over these issues here?
That's pretty much the main bit. The pit, up in space, Borovia, and on Cobra Island.
Yeah. Now, how does this space battle... Oh, yeah, so basically G.I. Joe let Cobra get away, don't they? Because they got to go and save what's left of the satellite.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. And then how does it actually end? What's the last panel
of in terms of the space bit? I mean, that's just that issue goes back to the circus, but the space bit is literally,
of course it does. Yeah.
No, like you said, we have a crew to worry about and a damaged shot to bring back in one piece.
Yeah, that's the last we see of Cobra, isn't it? There's no
now,
more.
Cobra have also think they spotted the G.I. Joe base yet again. Because they've done some recon satellite photos, and they're like, how are these Joes coming out of this single, 2 or 3 huts?
Yeah, well, we never saw them go in.
They always find the G.I. Joe base all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pit 3,
soon to be Pit 4, I imagine.
Yeah,
but
it was really good just to touch base with Cobra again and just plant the seeds for what's coming.
Yeah, because obviously we've got Civil War is coming up soon.
I was surprised that Mindbender's already kind of... Did you get that impression that he's... Because he says something like, it's really great to have a decisive leader again. Whereas I thought Mindbender was well into Serpentor.
Yeah, well, but, everyone will pick sides
That's
soon,
what I mean, yeah.
And
I love it.
No spoilers. We'll wait to see who picks what side there. But, so... From a Cobra standpoint, obviously Destro's kind of off the grid now. He's gone, but he's back in Scotland because he doesn't feature in these issues.
Yeah,
and
we're coming. Yeah,
it's he will come back in later on, obviously, but he's kind of distanced himself a little bit from.
I think he's busy.
He's busy. Yep, and he will get a new outfit. Not in the next episode we do, but the one after he will get his new outfit.
Yeah, we're getting into the issues now where you would literally cycle over from your house and just flop down a bunch of issues and we're like, OMG, you got to read this. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah.
So, have you read these ones before?
Yes, coming up to... Well, I'll tell you when, but very soon.
So the ones we've just done, you hadn't read?
No.
But coming up to...
everything that's coming is, as I said, when you came round, and this particular storyline is when I started buying them.
Right, okay.
From comic shops
and
stuff, I think.
This would have been... Because when I started collecting them in real time, it was probably the early hundreds. So these would have been issues that I'd bought from East Coast Comics I used to use as a back issue supplier.
Okay.
So I would have bought these back issues from there. And like you say, brought them round and good
There's just
times.
some really iconic stuff coming up that's going to bring back the memories.
Yeah. We had a question from. We kind of answered it a little bit with our shows, but let me just find this question I had from someone on the Facebook. Bear me 2 seconds. Can't find it.
Still working on this brew.
How is it? Good?
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, so Scott asked us about the Easter eggs, and we answered that one. I can't find it. Go on.
No danger.
Next episode, just to give people a heads up, we will be doing issues 67, 68, Yearbook 4, and Special Mission 7.
That's a nice mix.
So
couldn't get a better mix.
That's 68, 67.
Was that
sorry,
mini arc
67,
individuals?
67 and 68 is kind of a two-parter.
Right.
Based in, it's called Cold Snap. Bit more Terradrome action, a bit of Arctic snow action.
Ooh.
Then we got Yearbook 4, which has got 2 stories in it, one full length and one little.
Is that the last yearbook?
Little short. That is the last yearbook.
Yeah.
And then Special Mission 7, and then following that, the next episode will be a 3-issue arc, 69, 70, 71, and then Special Missions 8, and then the following one I think was probably the start of Civil War. But
we're in the lofty 70s already.
Yeah.
Wow. Exciting times.
we need to Yojo Cola this, of course.
Oh yeah.
So we're calling this is one long thing. So we're saying it's, what do we start with? 60 to 66 plus Special Mission 6.
Yeah.
That's 8 issues as one long.
It, Chief?
It's tough because there is quite a few different threads running through there, but they all tie up nicely. And we've got the main Borovia one. I think I've got to give this a high 8.
Yeah, I was toying with a low 9, but I think I'm going to go a high 8 as well. Not a return to form, but there was just a few ropey issues before this arc, so it's really nice to be back in a thick storyline, and yeah, I really had fun with these.
Question from Facebook was from Stephen Christopher Jubber, and he says, I've got a question for Chief and Ben. This was from a while back on the pod. What are your favourite G.I. Joe figure, vehicle, Cobra figure and Cobra vehicle? Now we cover those are kind of on the yearly awards, and I mentioned that, but he says what is your overall favourite figure now and vehicle? Now because he said many. Figure not character, I'm interpreting that to be toy.
Yeah. And
not character. So do you want to mull on that and give me an answer next week?
Yeah, I think so, because there's a lot out there.
Okay, we'll have an answer for you next week, Stephen.
I have to, but just in relating to that, when I got all the G.I. Joe toys out yesterday, I just tipped them out. I mean, there's so many.
Do you need some rubber bands?
Yes, I do.
Right,
but
I've got
dude,
those.
I could just get them on Amazon.
Okay.
But I was looking at all of these faces, and I was like, God, the majority of these haven't even been introduced yet. And I was like, do they manage to introduce all these characters? Is that even possible? Do they just kind of introduce them, but then you never really see them, or they certainly don't get any sort of dialogue? I mean, can you just tell me what they do moving forward? Because there are hundreds of characters. So what does Harmer do? Does he just draw them? Does he, how does it work?
Well, he always,
because there are, Chief. What I'm saying is,
you've seen that he plays with his favourites. So those original 13 Joes, we know that of those he probably only uses Stalker, Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Hawk. You don't really
Yeah.
see the rest of them, do you?
But for example,
So
so
he starts
Outback
fading,
has
guys.
featured a bit, hasn't he? But now will he just disappear? And do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I think he probably, when a new toy came out, he probably featured them for like 2 or 3 issues, and then if he personally liked them, he might
Yes.
find ways to shoehorn them back into a storylines. But everyone kind of got, Fast Draw kind of had 2 issues. He had that issue 60, drawn by Todd McFarlane, where him, Chuckles, Law and Order were introduced.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
featured, like you mentioned, in the bit this run, and that's probably it for him now. He's probably done.
Yeah, okay, that's what I mean. Because I was sort of lining up my figures. I was like, there's just so many sort of not big characters.
Yeah.
I was like, surely these don't do anything in the comics.
Yeah.
Same for Cobra as well. So many kind of
Well,
villains that are like Raptor. They're kind of like, loud. And I was like, do these guys feature? It's going to be interesting.
yeah, and obviously you've got the the storyline around the 100, just after over 100, where there's a bit of a cull,
Yes.
which I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, no, I remember that. You cycled round that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But let's not spoil anything. Okay, I'll get on that.
yeah. Get on that. Chief Fassbender question. Chief Fassbender question. What'll he say? What'll he do when Chief Fassbender question? Sequels that are at least as good, if not better, than the original movie.
Empire Strikes Back, Godfather Part 2, Aliens, Young Guns 2. Done.
There you go. Well, I guess that's the end of the show for this week. Wait a minute. Okay, can I... of those 4 you've mentioned, are you saying they're all better than or some on par with? So Empire...
I'd say they flip-flop. I think
Right.
Empire... no, because you know what it's like with Star Wars, dude.
Whichever one I've watched most recently is my favourite.
Yeah, at some point I've said that each of, those 3 are my favourites. So, yeah. I think Aliens, I definitely...
Yep.
Aliens is like one of my favourite films ever.
That is better, yep. I agree there.
Young Guns 2 isn't really better. It's just there's something quite funny about that
Can't
film.
remember that one.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Well,
You can, dude.
I can't remember the story. I can picture scenes in my head, but I can't remember the story.
Christian Slater.
Yeah, Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. What was the other one I said? Oh, Godfather Part 2 is 100. It is so much better.
I've never seen any of the Godfather movies.
Oh, have you not? Yeah. Well, the first 2 are really good.
I
The
just
third one
don't.
is ouch.
For me, length is a barrier, and I'm not sure I'm interested in the genre.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not particularly, but so that is kind of like a cross. I don't know. The second one is pretty good.
Can I throw my hat in the ring with a couple?
Yeah. Can I just? Are you going to say Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
think
saying
it might
no.
be
I
better,
think the
actually.
first one. Well, I'm saying on par.
I was
It's definitely not
on
worse.
par. No way. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else you got?
This one gets touted a lot, but it's not for me. But I'm going to say it just because a lot of people say it. They say Toy Story 2, but
it
I
is.
massively prefer the first.
Oh, okay. No, second one is probably better. I think. Lethal Weapon 2. No, it's not as good.
Back to the Future 2. Not as
No,
good.
definitely not. It's amazing, but not as good.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Die Hard 2 is
Ooh.
not as good.
Yeah, but give it some love, man. I've noticed
It's a good movie.
that
Great movie.
In pop culture, most people go Die Hard, then they go Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's like,
No,
whoa,
what, the fools.
no way.
What are they doing?
People think Die Hard 2 is really silly.
No, it's good. Very
God,
good.
it's
I saw that at cinema.
brilliant.
One of the first movies I saw at cinema, I think.
This is controversial, and hey, this is another one where I've noticed that people don't give it that much love. Temple of Doom.
Yep.
Often,
Yes.
I will say that is my favourite one.
Yeah.
Purely because of the white tux
Yeah.
scene. I think that is
amazing.
That is my favourite opening to a film.
Yeah.
I love that scene so much.
It's got
Good
so much
service here.
As with all those movies, it's just if you can quote multiple scenes from a movie, that's a great movie. We are going to die.
We are going to die.
His face. Ford.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Ford surely
I was
must be
gonna
top
ask-
3 all time.
So we watched that recently, and I really wanted to ask you. So you'd have to agree that Ford in when's Temple of Doom? 82? I don't know.
84.
That is
84.
him in his absolute prime. So he's just done Jedi,
Yeah.
then he's done Temple of Doom.
85,
He looks
I think was
great.
85 was Witness, which is an underrated movie.
In terms of like Indiana Jones, I think he looks at his best in Temple of Doom.
You reckon?
He is brilliant. Well, there's quite a big gap between Temple of Doom and Last Crusade.
89, I think.
Yeah, it's a strange one to leave it,
Yeah. But I
so
mean,
long.
he had a run of something ridiculous, like Star Wars 77, then
Yeah, 2 trilogies in
2 trilogies,
like 8 years.
2
Whatever.
Indiana Jones movies, Blade Runner.
Yeah, and then all of his kind
Witness.
of
He had like
romantic ones.
he had a run of like 8 years of just like how many box office hits do you want?
Yeah. And then, in the sort of 90s, he had another massive resurgence with like Fugitive and
Yep.
Patriot Games.
Yep.
I love the Ford. But I know you're a big Raiders fan. Raiders is always going to be your fave of that.
I think
isn't it?
Raiders is my favourite of those 3. Yeah. I don't
Bad dates.
love it. Do you? What's your thoughts on Crystal Skull?
My thoughts are, out of all of the kind of massive disappointments like Phantom Menace and that is above all of them.
Really, it takes the biscuit.
I thought that was like a real disgrace,
Like-
and I just can't believe Spielberg signed off on it. It's a dodgy script from Lucas. He always wanted to get aliens in there, apparently,
Right.
and everyone was fighting him, but they all just wanted the paycheck. Dude,
Is
that
there any
film
redeeming
is
bits in it?
proper bad. Yes, but the redeeming bits make it even more frustrating for me because
You see glimpses of what it could have been.
Ford looks great in it. There's no embarrassment there. He looks brilliant, and he could have had a worthy story.
Yeah,
And some of the stuff, the sort of time setting, what is it, 50s?
I guess so.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Because isn't it
looks
Soviet? Is it
lovely.
Russia who's the bad? I can't even remember
Yeah.
any of the storylines.
Yeah, Cold War, so Russia. Just, there's so many WTF moments. The swinging through the... Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's proper bad.
I'll tell you another one. It's not. It doesn't reach the same heights as the original, but Batman Returns I like.
Oh, I love it. And another one that people dislike.
Really?
I think that if you were to ask Tim Burton, he would say that is his favourite one.
You reckon?
100%, because I don't think he had the budget. The way that film looks is incredible, and I think that was what he wanted his Gotham to look like. That's a great film.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, I remember you could see that at the cinema and coming round, and you at the time you weren't into it.
Really?
Yeah, you were like, oh, there's this bit where he's on the roof and he's got this thing and he types it in and it goes around, and you were disappointed that he didn't just kill Catwoman,
Right.
And he kept falling in love with her.
Right.
Do you remember that?
I think so.
You probably
yeah,
don't.
I think so.
Yeah, you came round, but over time, I think you got into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good question, that sequels that are superior.
I mean, a lot of it is. It's interesting because, like you say, how many sequels are made purely from a commercial point of view, where they know they can wring some more cash out of Joe Public, and how many are made out of. And I'm not talking about like trilogies that are preset. The Nolan's Batmans. I'm guessing there was always going to be 3. Was there or?
No, because
Okay.
that was a total risk for him, and I don't think they didn't know who he was. So yes, in his head, he probably had some others mapped out. Same with Lucas.
Well, there's another-
no way he thought he was going to be making Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, there's another one for you, I guess. Dark Knight Rises or whatever it's called.
Yes,
No,
the Dark
The Dark
Knight
Knight,
is
sorry.
definitely better than Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I think.
So
Ooh, that's a good film.
So yeah, so it's interesting when a sequel's made. I guess
Most of the time, it is for what you were saying.
the
though.
commercial
It is-
aspects.
Yeah.
Not I suppose not like you say. Not many people can plan a double bookend movies or 3 movies
Yeah,
because the budget required, and you never know if the first one's going to flop or not. It's always going to be.
You can definitely plant seeds
Yeah.
and be like, well, maybe we get round to making this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that in New Hope. It pretty much gets wrapped up. I mean, he obviously didn't kill off the big bad, but there's no way he knew that film was going to blow up.
It's interesting that he didn't kill the big bad.
Could have done,
Because
and then
in pretty much every single
Tarkin,
sort of
he's the big bad.
Well, yeah, but in every kind of family, sci-fi, adventure, rompish kind of movie, or any action movie, you'd be hard pushed. Vader's the big bad. Come on,
well,
Tarkin.
Yeah,
you'd
he
be
is.
hard
But
pushed.
I think he felt that he gave you Tarkin.
It'd be hard pushed to find any movie in general where the baddie doesn't get his comeuppance or die.
I tell you, we were damn lucky that he didn't, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because you don't get an Empire or a Jedi.
Yeah. And you don't get no from the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, man.
Fun times.
Yeah, real fun times. That was a good G.I. Joe arc we just did there.
Yes. And I can't. These next couple of arcs coming up, these next couple of episodes, I can't remember.
Bit of memory loss, Chief.
I know. I see the covers. I look at some of the interiors, but I can't fully remember.
Lights aren't on.
I can't fully remember the storyline, how it goes. So this is going to be good for me as well.
Okay,
So just to
like it's good
recap,
for your health.
Recap next episode 67, 68, yearbook number 4, and special missions 7. Catch us in all the usual places. Talking Joe Comics on Instagram. Talking_Joe on Twitter, talkingjoecomics@gmail.com, G.I. Joe, Talking Joe, a G.I. Joe podcast on Facebook, and go and check out the 2-part special of the Action Force Weekly we did.
Definitely do.
Diagnostic 80. Go and check out his video on YouTube, really good, and loads of good. I've been checking out G.I. Joeberg recently, among lots of other G.I. Joe podcasts out there, really good, but enjoying their stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. The community is strong.
We're going to keep going. So how do you feel we're doing in general? 155 issues in the regular series, plus 28 special missions, plus 4 yearbooks is 187, I think, issues. Well, and we're...
Chief, I didn't think we'd make it to episode 2 of Talking Joe, so I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're almost into the 70s.
We've read 75 issues of 187.
Yeah, that's. Sorry. So adding in all the.
Yeah. So we're nearly halfway. Not quite.
It's going to be a great thing to have, because I know that I'm going to reread this run.
Yep.
Probably every, I don't know, maybe not every year, but every 2 years, and it's going to be so cool to maybe go back through some of these.
Yes.
It's a nice time capsule. I think we've got going here.
Yep. Good stuff.
So, yeah.
I'm going to actually get on and read these issues now, I think.
Nice. Bank Holiday Monday. Why not?
Monday.
Pop a Bond film on later.
Oh, you know it. Got to be Roger.
Yeah, it has to be.
And I might even have a look at the box of Halo 2, but put it back on the shelf.
Mate, you need some distance.
Yeah, okay.
Serious.
All right. We will see everyone next week. I'll see you next week, Ben, and we will